10 miles per hour. Then Thursday, that'll be mostly sunny. We'll start to see some clouds into the thumb during the afternoon and a high of 74 on your Thursday. That wind will start to shift back to the northeast again, but only 5 to 15 miles per hour. Could still see some more wildfire smoke on Thursday as well. By Friday, we'll have a high of 78, mostly sunny. That's after we fall to 48 on Thursday night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Current temperature at WSGW, 63 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan, President and CEO of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in as a guest host for Art here all week. And I promise you, of all the shows that I've done while guest hosting, this morning's going to be the most delicious show I have done yet. I have three outstanding guests with us today, and we'll go ladies first. Maria Otto with the Little Pastry Shop. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning.
Terry McNeese with Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Saginaw. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And Joe Stricker with Sombreros Restaurant, currently on Pierce Road in Saginaw, but soon to be another location in Bay City. Good morning, Joe.
Buenos dias.
So, a lot of times when we do the show, we have our big players in the region come on, and it's great to hear the giant corporate stories, but we definitely don't want to forget our small businesses. I mean, the small businesses are really the lifeblood and the engine of our local economy. And in this case, I will tell you, this region loves its food. It loves dining. It loves eating. I don't know if that's being victims to living in a cold weather climate that we have to sneak indoors a little bit more to enjoy great food. But all three of your restaurants are currently getting getting a lot of buzz right now, a lot of attention as you're either new to the scene or new to a new community. And so we wanted to hear how you got in the business and hear all about your ventures. So as always, we're going to go ladies first again. Maria, Little Pastry Shop. For those who don't know, give us the quick overview of what exactly is Little Pastry Shop and where are you located?
Yes, so we are located downtown Bay City on the corner of Center and Adams in the old Penny's building or City Market, right in the Center Avenue entrance. And we have every day fresh, hot cinnamon rolls, little pies, and scones available, and also slices of cake.
So to those that are listening, I apologize. And to those maybe here in the studio that work here, we did place an order this morning for some scones and some cinnamon rolls. So sorry to the listeners, we're going to make you jealous unless you get over to Little Pastry Shop and buy your own. We're going to partake during the show and see which ones are our favorite. So I'm going to move to you, Joe. You are at Sombreros in Saginaw. If you can quickly tell everyone how long you've been open, where you're at, and what we can look forward to.
Yes. Well, we're currently at 2903 Pierce Road in the Pierce Road Plaza right here in Saginaw, Michigan, across the street from Saginaw Valley State University. We are actually in our 5th year right now, right here on Pierce Road, and soon to be in Bay City, Michigan on Midland Street.
Fantastic. And we literally both have a neighbor of sorts.
Yes.
I have an actual neighbor, and you have a business neighbor, Terry McNeese with Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Tell us about Dickey's and when did you open and where are you located?
Okay, so we're on Pierce Road, 2 doors down from Joe Sombreros. So we're neighbors. Great working with Joe. He's very helpful because he's been in the business. We're, just getting our feet wet. So he's very helpful. I run down his back door in the morning. Hey, Joe, what about this? What about that? So appreciate the help.
No,
Thank you
you're
very
welcome.
much. So we opened middle of April. Word's just getting out, in the community. Look for some, advertising coming soon. we're big at the college, with the catering for them, and look forward to serving the Saginaw Bay City community.
So the first question I have to ask, and this is just, kind of open to all of you, so everyone wants to jump in. When did you decide, I'm going to leave the traditional workforce or what we kind of view as the 9-to-5 workforce or 8-to-5 workforce and say, you know what, I'm going to open my own business and I'm going to follow a passion? At what point were you hit by the lightning that said, you know what, this is my calling and this is something that I need to do?
About a year ago, actually. I was just talking to my husband a couple days ago during dinner, and I said, holy crap, it's been 1 year since I quit my job. And it is a weird feeling when you do decide to completely change direction in life. It is kind of like a wake up and direction shift in your mind when you say, I'm going to do this. And there's a quote out there that says, when you are meant to do something, all of a sudden you have all of the energy in the world to do it. And that's kind of what happened with me.
So when you said that, and I happen to know your husband in this case, did Jeff look at you and go, lady, are you crazy? Like, you have a good paying job and steady income and benefits. And what are you doing? No, just make cinnamon rolls for me here at home.
Right.
What kind of support did you have at home?
So Jeff was 100% on board. In fact, he had randomly been buying me items. He bought me a very large freezer, for example, random packaging for gifts in the past. And he kept saying, this is for when you own your own place. This is for when you own your own place. And I would kind of look at him like, well, that's a weird gift. I don't have any use for this. And now here I am using it. So it's pretty cool. He's had faith in me all along.
I guess so. And I think Jeff may have given us all ideas. If you want something, maybe you start gifting it to your significant other to start leading that trail. Joe, how about for you? 5 years ago, and for those that don't know Joe, we'll just say he and his wife are serial entrepreneurs. I knew Joe first as a karate man, as a karate expert. Haven't fully determined if you're Daniel LaRusso or if you're Johnny Lawrence, but you were already in business. What made you decide to take that leap and say, okay, I'm going to open a second business and go into the restaurant business?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. I've been doing martial arts ever since I was 3 years old. Had my martial arts school for 20 years, and I've taught all over, Europe, Japan, Hong Kong, China. I've been everywhere. But then all of a sudden, as I got older, I thought to myself, what's going to happen if I can't do this anymore? I mean, I am the merchandise. People come to the school for me. So I started thinking about what I did when I was young, watching my grandfather cook Mexican food, tasting it, loving it, watching my uncle and aunt start Casa del Rey in Saginaw, Michigan. I don't know if you remember Casa del Rey. Do you, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. It's still there. The building's there, and I believe it's an Asian restaurant of some kind. But that was back in the day of Casa del Rey and La Senorita and Chi-Chi's, and there's quite a few, Mexican restaurants that were in Saginaw Township, and that landscape's changed a little bit through the years. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as a kid, my mom and dad would drop me off over there to have them babysit, and my uncle would throw me in the back kitchen and have me cook, and bottle hot sauce and all of that. So I had it there. I love the restaurant industry. So it was a no-brainer when it came to, okay, what am I going to do in case something happened to me in the martial art industry? Opened up Sombreros and ended up getting married. And you're right. My wife, Shannon, we opened up a cosmetology and aesthetic school in Auburn, and she's going like wildfire with it. So yeah. In fact, in Bay City, you're going to see some things from the Casa del Rey. We have a bench that was in the foyer of Casa del Rey that we're getting that redone right now. We're going to put some pictures up, kind of like add some history of some of the other restaurants that were in the area.
Well, that's outstanding. And people are definitely going to love that history when they go in there. So Terry McNeese, you and your wife are also kind of serial entrepreneurs. And what I love about your story is that you're relatively new to the Great Lakes Bay region. You and your family moved here specifically to get into business and to invest. At what point did you decide, you know what, I'm going to own a barbecue restaurant? And by the way, thank you for that, because I needed a barbecue restaurant closer to home. So what made you take that leap?
So myself and my son Peyton were out one night picking up carry out from a local chain restaurant, and we went in there and it was packed. But it was the only option at the time. So I came home and talked to my wife Stacy. We had like I said, other businesses. So we were looking to do something, expand, and we just started looking. We started out, we were going to do wings, and then the more I researched franchises, because we were going to go the franchise route, because we just didn't have any restaurant experience. So the Dickeys kept popping up. So we started looking into it and researching, the competition in the area, availability, so it seemed like there was a market for it, so 2 months later we signed a franchise agreement, and then we were, in the process.
Well, folks, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to keep making you hungry.
Brew at the Zoo, the adult-only fundraiser at the Saginaw Children's Zoo, is back. Join us for an evening of live music, beer and wine, tasty treats, and delicious food. All this and more are included in the ticket price of $50. An event you won't want to miss, Thursday, June 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Visit SaginawZoo.com to order your tickets today.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you zoo?
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The U.S. trade deficit widened in April, but not as much as expected. Exports declined, imports increased. That can reflect that demand was holding up in the U.S. economy for things from other countries. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says consumer spending has continued to grow in a robust way, but the Treasury is seeing areas of the economy slowing down. Yellen says the U.S. debt agreement will support the Fed's efforts to bring inflation down, but she also says there will be issues with commercial real estate. Campbell's Soup reported a better than expected quarter, though business was weaker than a year ago. And United Natural Foods, which distributes organic and natural foods to grocers, reported a weaker than expected quarter. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hi, Robert Downey Jr. here. Did you know that over $10.3 billion was lost to online crime last year alone? Online crime is a huge problem. It affects everyone, and that's why I've partnered with Aura. Aura gives you the tools you need to stay safe online with almost every tool you need: fraud and identity theft protection, a password manager, parental controls, and more. Sign up for a free 2-week trial today at aura.com/Robert. Aura.com/Robert.
More of our personal information is online than ever before, which means the internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
Ugh, I'm so full. Same. Did you sample the passports? So good. I love how they come with names and birth dates. Right? And that tray of social security numbers. Never got around to it. I filled up on logins and passwords. Oh yeah, those are hard to resist.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could easily miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements alone. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it.
All right, going back in. Thought you were full. Yeah, but I saw some driver's licenses on the dessert table. Ooh, grab me a maiden name while you're up.
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS for 25% off. LifeLock. Identity theft protection starts here.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Torkelson, fly ball left field, way back in left, gone! Spencer Torkelson hits his 5th home run.
The Tigers play 5:40 this evening on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and we're having a delicious Wednesday morning with Sombreros, Little Pastry Shop, and Dickey's Barbecue. Joe, I'm going to turn to you next. So if we have a listener that's not been into Sombreros yet, can you talk about your menu? What are the various items that are on there? I even know recently you were asked if you're finding that customers prefer more authentic to maybe a more modern and let's just use the word bland Mexican food experience. What can they find when they come into Sombreros?
All right. Well, you know, probably one of the hardest things I had to do was actually come up with the menu. What's going to work in this area? You know, I grew up in Saginaw, so I was kind of used to the Tejano, the Tex-Mex style food that we traditionally have in this area. Nothing wrong with it. I just wanted something more like what I grew up to, more Mexican, more authentic. I even spent some time in California in the Marine Corps where I tasted some of the California style Mexican food. So it was a no-brainer that when I opened up Sombreros that I was going to touch on the authentic Mexican cooking, the traditional Tejano Tex-Mex style that they have here, as well as the California style. So like when you come to my restaurant, you're going to find traditional Mexican food. Like you're going to find lengua tacos, you know, tacos de lengua, which is tongue tacos, you know. Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? You're going to find tripa tacos. I mean, tripas are the intestine, you know, of the tacos. Now, obviously, you'd be surprised how much of this that we do sell. I mean, I was surprised. You're going to find the Tex-Mex style food like the enchiladas. You're going to find tostadas. You're going to find burritos. We even make Mexican style enchiladas, which is more with the hot sauce or the chile verde, the green sauce. You're going to find a California style cooking that we have with our California burritos, our carne asada fries. And of course, you know, some of the stuff that we have is the recipes come straight from my family. Like the caldo that we have, the beef soup. That was my grandfather's recipe. He doesn't know I'm using it, but I'm sure he's not going to get upset about it. My dad, okay, check this out. My favorite dish, I don't know if you've ever tried this, Matt, is the chicharrones con chile. Have you ever tried that?
I have not, but I do love chicharrones, so I may have to give that a roll at some point.
You're gonna have to try this, and I'm gonna tell you why. So my dad and his brothers, and he had several of them. There was 18 of them all together with his brothers and sisters. That's a huge family. And during Christmas time, a lot of them would cook to see who can cook it the best. My Uncle Steve was great at it. My Uncle Joe was great at it. My dad. So I've had the ability I've had the chance to try different types of chicharrones cooked by my family. And the chicharrones that I cook over there from my dad, my great Uncle Fred had a great chicharrones. So if you've never had it, I mean, we're selling these like crazy now. In fact, when people come in and they're like, what do you suggest? I'm like, you have an open mind? You want to try something different? And we'll serve that. And they always come back and get it
So
again.
you guys heard it. He's got a very limited menu, not a lot on it. Don't be adventurous. I mean, it's unbelievable how much you're offering. So Terry, I'm going to switch over to you because you do not get a physique like this unless you're a barbecue connoisseur. I think we all know there's various kinds of barbecue. There's a Carolina barbecue, a Kansas City barbecue, Memphis barbecue, Texas. I think the first question is, what kind of barbecue do you serve there at Dickey's?
Texas
Style.
That's the slogan, legit Texas barbecue.
And so for maybe folks that don't know the differences, what's the difference that makes Texas barbecue?
It's a good question. Carolina is, more mustard based,
vinegary.
Yeah. Kansas City barbecue is more of a sweet.
And definitely got a sugary texture.
And then Texas is hot,
hot and smoked.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So for those that are listening that haven't been to Dickey's yet, and just kind of as a reminder, Dickey's and Sombreros are kind of adjacent to one another off Pierce Road next to Saginaw Valley State University. What's on your menu at Dickey's? What kind of barbecue items can you get there?
Pulled pork, brisket, smoked chicken, everything's smoked.
Yep.
Smoked chicken, and ribs. Ribs by far our biggest seller. We go through 16 racks a day, whether it's Monday or Saturday. We just can't. We sell out every night. So
I will tell you, I've learned that if I have a hankering for ribs, I come a little bit earlier rather than later, just in case that you're not sold out. And then Maria, Little Pastry Shop. I'm going to tell you, between the next break, guys, we have 24 scones staring at us. It's between the 5 of us. I'm a little worried. Jonathan here at WSGW has longer arms and he seems to be closer. So we're going to do a little taste test here in the break. Maria, what items, and I know you touched on them briefly, but what items do you have on the menu? And then I guess the secondary question I'll ask for you is since you're just getting up and going too, as you look to expand, what else do you think you want to put on that menu as time goes on?
All right, awesome. So yeah, currently we have our scones, and they aren't your typical dry, large scone. They're smaller and more tender, and we try to rotate the flavors. So we usually have about 4 flavors at every time. Then we have our cinnamon rolls, which
quick timeout.
Yep.
What do we have this week? Just so folks know, because we want people to be hungry. We got scones there right now. It's 9:33. If someone's driving and they're near City Market in Bay City, what can they find today?
Yeah, so we have our lemon and tart cherry almond scones, which are customer favorites, and so we have them all the time. The other 2 flavors that we currently have are strawberry shortcake and orange, and those also are quickly becoming customer favorites. So it's awesome to see.
And so you were going to talk about cinnamon rolls.
Yes, we usually we have hot, fresh cinnamon rolls, and I'm getting good feedback on those that they taste like people's grandmas used to make or their mom used to make. And for me, that's the best compliment I could get. So,
and I will tell you, last fall when you were operating out of the house, you did pies around Thanksgiving.
Yes, and we're still doing pies.
Yeah, and how do you do the pies? What makes those so distinct right now?
So we do for walk-in customers a little individual 5-inch pie. And I say individual, but good for even 2 or 3 people. Instead of a larger pie, I have a smaller family, so we do better with a smaller pie. Current flavors are cherry, blueberry, and Dutch apple. We sold a lot of strawberry rhubarb last week. Those were delicious, and we'll be having key lime coming soon.
Well, my son is a pumpkin pie connoisseur, and you won him over forever last Thanksgiving. So I know where I'm going to have to put a few dollars come that time of year. So we're going to take another quick break here on the Art Lewis Show.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning up the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Region Alliance, and today we're focusing on entrepreneurship, small business, and really the food industry. And I think one of the next great topics to discuss, let's just talk about the people in the region, the customers. That's your lifeblood. You don't survive without customers and a following. So Joe, I'm going to open it up to you first, since you've been doing this a little bit longer than everyone else, and you may have a better read on everybody's pulse here in the region. What are customers looking for with their hard-earned dollars in an era of inflation? Everything's a little bit more expensive. I don't know if you guys have been in just to a gas station recently to buy a Snickers bar, But of all the things that blew me away, I'm like, you want $3 for a Snickers? So I know that everyone's getting hit hard. What are customers looking for right now, and how is it working and interfacing with the customer?
Well, first off, at Sombreros, I don't refer to them as customers. I refer to them as my guests. And I think that right there starts it all off right there, because when they come in, it's like they're coming into my home. The menu that I'm currently putting together, when I talk about the love that I felt when my grandfather would cook for us, is the exact love I want people to feel when they're eating the food at Sombreros. And I think if we keep that in mind, treating them like guests and wanting them to just enjoy the meal, I think that's a good start. Having good portions, having great food. Nothing comes from a can. Nothing comes from a can. We're cooking it fresh every single day, giving you good portions and trying to keep the price, affordable. Those are huge.
So Maria, same for you. And it's kind of with all of you, it's the same thing. Who isn't happy when they're having tacos, cinnamon rolls, and a rack of ribs? You ever walked in and said, wow, you look so sad while you're eating your tacos and your ribs? No one looks sad. I've never seen someone sad when they're eating a cinnamon roll. How do you find interactions with customers here in our region, Maria?
It's wonderful. So I love when people come in the door and they're usually smiling. And if they aren't smiling right when they walk in, they're smiling at the end. We have customers bringing other people in saying, hey, try this. Hey, I tried this one. Hey, I haven't tried this scone yet. I'll try that one this week. And it makes me so happy.
No, I will tell you for you listeners, and it hasn't been on her menu yet, so I may get in trouble and get my hand slapped. And as a young man who grew up in the south end of Bay City and went to St. Stanislaus Kuska grade school for 9 years, she makes perhaps the greatest punchki on the face of the earth. So you got this customer smiling at all times, and there's no one that couldn't have been smiling and happy when it was punchki time last year. How many punchkis did you sell out of your home last year?
A lot. And my grandma used to make hundreds of these. She was actually always in the Bay City Times as I don't know what they called her, the Polish queen or something. She used to make them out of her home and give them to neighbors and friends and family. And so to be able to do that now is really cool. It's something I've always wanted to do. So I'm excited to have them available at the new store.
And so Terry, new into the business. So you have a lot of people that are probably coming in for the first time, maybe kind of looking at the menu, not knowing what to think. You probably have to guide a lot of people, answer a lot of questions right now. How's it been with customers so far?
So I'm sure Joe can speak to this too, but
okra.
Yes. Yeah. Joe, so won Joe over first day with yourself. Barbecue customers are a different customer, right? We're not fast food, we're fast casual. Most people don't try barbecue for the first time. Right. I mean, you've had it at a picnic at a bar, this, that. You've done ribs, you've done brisket, you've done pork. So they know what they're getting. It's just how good it is. And so far we've exceeded expectations. I mean, people love our food. I had a conversation in the hallway this morning with my favorite or my number one customer's sister. And was in here and we were talking about her brother and father come in every Wednesday and eat. And we won her dad over, which is a good thing.
So if there's one thing I notice with all of you, though, this goes back in your families, right? Maria, you talking about how your grandmother sold those just, as growing up. I can tell you, and I know Joe knows this completely, my grandparents paid for their Christmas gifts by making and selling tamales by the dozen. I just remember every, a week after Thanksgiving, look out, the tamale ingredients were coming out, the jalapenos were out. There's a history there, right? For all of you, it comes from, it just didn't start even 5 or 10 years ago. This is part of your childhood, your upbringing, correct?
Yeah. Matt, it's really hard cooking for other Latinos in the area because many of them grew up to their grandparents' rice, grandparents' beans. So they come in, and when they're tasting your food and they come back, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, we are going to keep talking about this delicious topic here after these messages.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hi, Art Lewis here. And after many years in several vehicles, I finally get to talk about my car dealer, McDonald Ford, on M47 in Freeland. McDonald Ford wants you to know they are now buying cars. You can sell your vehicle by beginning the process by simply sending 7 photos of your car to joe@mcdonaldford.com. Photos must be of the front, rear, left, and right sides, car's interior, dashboard showing vehicle mileage, and a photo of your title showing the VIN number. Receive an offer, and you decide. Payment is on the spot and includes all paperwork and lien release. Don't wait. Put cash in your pocket today and tell your friends and family too. Send your photos to joe@mcdonaldford.com. That's joe@mcdonaldford.com. Oh, by the way, mention my name, Art Lewis, and they'll throw in a free lunch with the deal. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So I am here this morning with Joe Stricker from Sombreros, Maria Otto with the Little Pastry Shop, and Terry McNeese with Dickey's Barbecue. I will tell you, we're having success because people have literally been running into the on-air room to steal scones. I hear nothing but people going, and walking by with plates of cinnamon rolls in the studio. It seems like we're definitely winning some folks over here this morning. So we did the taste test. What did everybody think? And Maria, you're out on this. Joe, how was your scone?
You know, it was absolutely fabulous. And I mentioned to her that I'm not really a pastry person, but man, they were delicious. So you won me over.
Terry, how about you?
Same thing. I'm not a pastry person, but you won me over. So
thank you.
Look for me at City Market.
We're in a little bit of a different spot because I'm absolutely a pastry person, and it's a kind of part of a weekly pilgrimage for me. It's honestly just about sporting a friend. It has nothing to do with me. So it just happens to be that she makes delicious items.
Yes.
So, the next thing I want to just chat about, you guys are also now all, let's go with the term employers, your bosses. Let's talk about workforce. Terry, I'm going to start with you since, you're just open. Everything we talk about in the Great Lakes Bay region focuses on talent of some sort right now. And you guys are hiring folks in, and I'm guessing in some cases they may be full-time jobs, in other cases they're part-time jobs. How has it been finding talent here in the Great Lakes Bay region?
I got lucky. I mean, I wouldn't be here today doing this interview. I'd be at the store working if I didn't get a great staff. I mean, they run the store for me. They let me go out, do my community marketing, other stuff that we're doing to try and grow the business. So, I go there in the morning, meet with them, leave at, meet them at night, and, they take care of the store. They run it, like I would. So I got lucky with that aspect. Yeah, my staff is great.
So Maria, you were used to an operation where it was you and your mom, and your husband, bringing in your daughter for underage, labor. You were using all the tricks in the book there. But once you opened your shop, you needed to make some hires. How did that go for you?
Right. So we've successfully hired a few people, and I guess lucky was what came to my mind as well. I have one of my employees comes at 4:00 in the morning with me, and we start making dough. And then another one comes in for the later morning shift, and it's nervous. Initially trying to teach people your recipes and do it this way. This is how the dough feels. But right now, for example, they're there and they're holding down the fort. So we're in good hands. And my mom has been an incredible help. Couldn't do it without her.
Yep. And then Joe,
Yes.
You're even in a more unique spot right now because you have everyone I talk to that knows you and Sombreros has no idea how you produce that volume of food and that robust of a menu out of a kitchen that size. And so you're doing that, but then now on top of it, you're training and getting people ready for another restaurant, which is 5 times larger than your current restaurant. How is that working in terms of, finding employees, training chefs, getting people in place? Because you're going to have many more employees than you do in your current location. How's that search gone for you?
Well, let me tell you, it's been fantastic. I like to call my Sombreros people my family, my familia, and that's exactly what they are. I don't have to worry about my kitchen staff at all. I mean, the team that we put together, I just let them know what we need to do and they get it done. And so we're looking for the same quality of person, the person who wants to be in the family with us for the next location. But yeah, you're right. It's great. The team in my industry, it's also important to have bilingual people as well, because a lot of our staff don't speak very good fluent English. So being bilingual does help. Writing in Spanish helps to translate with the orders from front to back. But yeah, the team that we have right now, oh my gosh, I got lucky. But if you treat them right You pay them right, and everything falls into place.
So I'm going to put you guys on the spot now. No easy passes. We have about 2 minutes left. Tell everyone again where they can find you. And I believe that higher tides raise all ships. Give me one other favorite place you really enjoy going to in the region. You don't have to get into it, but say, you know what? This is a place I really love. Maria, you're on the spot first.
So where do I love to go?
Yes.
I love going to Gatsby's downtown Bay City. Excellent dinner.
Awesome. And where can everyone find the Little Pastry Shop? If they're looking, we've talked about scones. Folks, we literally have people texting us about scones and punchki right now. So people are clearly excited. Where can they find you?
Little Pastry Shop is located on the corner of Center and Adams, downtown Bay City.
Terry, if there's a place here in the region that you love to go to highlight, so I think, you guys work in an industry where you want to see everybody succeed. What's a place you love that folks should be aware of?
Real Seafood.
Okay. Real Seafood, downtown Bay City. And again, where can folks find you?
At 2903 Pierce Road, right at the entrance to Saginaw Valley. And one plug, please. On Sundays, kids eat for free at Dickey's. Walk-in customers only.
What's the definition of kids?
Yeah, I'm 10.
Yeah, I'm only 13, right?
Yeah. Well, I think I've bought you two lunch already, so you guys eat for free. 12. I'm not gonna turn away a 13, 14-year-old. So we're there to serve the community and give them great barbecue. So
awesome.
Not checking IDs.
That's fair. So Joe, we know your location because you're right adjacent to Dickey's, right in Pierce Road in that plaza next to SVSU. But if for all those listening, and what's a favorite of yours that you would recommend?
Oh, I love Asian food. So Peter and Chai's on Bay Road. It's a small hut. I'm going to tell you, they make good traditional Chinese food as well as American Chinese food. Love it.
Well, guys, it has been great to have you on. I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I am starving right now and have some lunch ideas. We'll be back here on the Art Lewis Show.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape the everyday. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Ski into summer, $500 richer. Ski that win to Saginaw Eagles Landing for your chance to play skee ball. One lucky guest every hour rolls to win up to $500 cash. Hourly drawings noon to 9 p.m. every Friday in June. Win hot cash prizes with Ski into Summer, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
That's all for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. I want to thank Joe Stricker with Sombreros, Maria Otto with Little Pastry Shop, and Terry McNeese with Dickey's for joining me in the last hour. Coming up in the next hour, Justin Pomerville with Local 85, Plumbers and Steamfitters. But first, the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. Experts are warning millions of people right now in more than a dozen states to avoid going outside today as smoke from Canadian wildfires keeps spreading. CBS's Cammie McCormick has the latest.
In New York and Washington, D.C., public schools are opened, but outdoor activities canceled. The smoke has created dangerous conditions for those with underlying health conditions, and even for those who are healthy. Officials are advising people not to spend much time outdoors and mask up when they do.
Smoke's also causing air quality issues in the Midwest and as far south as South Carolina. 5 days after a mother of four was allegedly gunned down by her neighbor, police have finally made an arrest in Florida.
Police in Ocala, Florida say 58-year-old Susan Lawrence, who is white, allegedly fired through the front door of her neighbor's house, killing 35-year-old A.J. Owens, who was black. Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods on the investigation.
We want to ensure that what we present, that justice is served all the way through the courts and that the individual gets what they deserve.
Lawrence is facing charges including manslaughter with a firearm. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Pope Francis is back in the hospital today. CBS's Tina Kraus tells us he's undergoing intestinal surgery.
Aides say the 86-year-old pontiff will be put under general anesthesia for the operation at Gemelli Hospital in Rome and will be hospitalized for several days.
In London, Prince Harry's back in the hot seat for a second day at his phone hacking trial. CBS's Vicky Barker is there.
The picture Prince Harry has painted on the stand is of a life blighted from childhood onward by invasive press attention. His first serious relationship ended in large part, he said, because so many intimate details ended up in the tabloids. If Harry fails to prove those details were obtained illegally, his testimony just might lead to some soul searching at those tabloids.
Former Vice President Mike Pence announced today he's running for president in 2024, essentially pitting himself against his former boss. Here's CBS's Robert Costa.
Ever since Pence was pressured by Trump to try to overturn the 2020 election.
I hope Mike is going to do the right thing. I hope so.
And faced threats during the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Their once-strong alliance has increasingly become a rivalry.
Right now, Trump is the Republican frontrunner. CNN CEO is out. Chris Licht led the network for a little over a year, but his tenure has been marred by slumping ratings and controversies, including coverage of a Donald Trump town hall. Licht also shut down CNN's streaming service, cut hundreds of jobs, and fired Don Lemon last month. Still no word on who will replace him. This is CBS News.
Need hires who dazzle without the hassle? You need Indeed. Their powerful platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 64 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Police in Beaverton are searching for a home invasion and murder suspect. Police say the armed suspect broke into a home at Lakeside Estates early Tuesday morning. A resident in the home in the 300 block of West Brown Street was shot to death, but has not been identified by police at this time. Out of an abundance of caution, Beaverton schools closed Tuesday, while Gladwin Community Schools operated in a secure mode, which is not a lockdown, but a heightened state of security. Police continue to search for the suspect, though they say there is no danger to the public as they believe the incident is isolated. Several Bay City area organizations have partnered together to celebrate Juneteenth freedom and good health on June 18th and 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day at Winona Park. The Bay City NAACP branch will host the second annual and national observance of Juneteenth. The community is invited to come out and receive COVID vaccines and boosters, flu shots, and get information on a host of other information of proactive measures promoting good health and wellness. There will also be live music and food vendors on site with other activities and discussions of race and racism at the Delta College Planetarium. The event is free and open to the public. Partnering organizations include UAW Region 1D, United Way of Bay County, and McLaren Bay Regional Health. The Midland Mall was bought by a local 33-year-old investor, the president and CEO of IP Telex, a specialty telecom company. WSGW's Christiana Malacara has more information on this story.
Jordan Dice's career started in his family's business at 13 years old before starting his own business as a local internet service provider in Bay City, StarNet Wireless. Dice is a Delta College graduate and has degrees in computer science and accounting. He was also one of the recipients of 40 Under 40 for the class of 2019. The mall was sold on March 30th after a 3-day online auction, with the final bid being greater than $5 million. The mall was built in 1991 on nearly 33 acres of land and is 570,000 square feet in size. Christiana Malacara, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hey, Bob, how about another burger? Coming up.
Who knew Bob was such a grill master?
Yeah, and his team organized all the games for the kids.
Hey, guys, I think we can get you a better auto loan rate. Wow.
That's great. It's what we do.
At Capocco Community Credit Union, we're your neighbors, living next door and throughout your community. Whether through nonprofit community events or just a neighborhood get-together, Capocco Community Credit Union, your neighbor for all your banking needs, federally insured by the NCUA.
With Clarifly Larvicide, you get more than just a fly control product. You get more support, more expertise, and more control to prevent the emergence of nuisance flies from the manure of treated cattle by as much as 96%. It's perfectly blended in your mineral supplement to become a part of what you're already doing, feeding your cattle. Get control of flies with a comprehensive program built around Clarifly Larvicide and Starbar products. To learn more about Clarifly Larvicide, contact your local feed dealer or visit centralflycontrol.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. What Metro Detroit man accused of supporting a foiled plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer plans to change his not guilty plea in the case. 40-year-old Sean Fix of Belleville was one of 5 men charged with providing material support for an act of terrorism in the 2020 plot to abduct the governor from her northern Michigan vacation home. Fix is scheduled to appear for a hearing today in Antrim County Circuit Court. He's also charged with possessing a firearm while committing a felony. 3 others in the alleged plot include Eric Molitor and brothers Michael and William Null, still await trial in August. Tens of thousands of Muskegon County residents no longer have medical debt. Michigan News Source's Mike Vitale reports.
Access Health in Muskegon has teamed up with New York-based nonprofit RIP Medical Debt to erase the medical debt of 40,000 residents, totaling about $25 million. Muskegon was one of 2 communities selected nationwide for debt relief. Residents selected earned up to 4 times the federal poverty rate and whose medical debt was 5% or more of their gross annual income. For Michigan News Source, I'm Mike Vitale.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Mike Percha. Here's WNEM's first alert meteorologist, Matthew Mondro.
Your Wednesday sees a high of 71 degrees and a northeast wind at 5 to 15, gusting to 20 miles per hour. We'll still have poor air quality today due to a re-intensification of the wildfires in Ontario that is bringing more smoke back into mid-Michigan. Tonight we'll have a low of 46, clear but still hazy from that wildfire smoke, a northwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then Thursday, that'll be mostly sunny. We'll start to see some clouds into the thumb during the afternoon and a high of 74 on your Thursday. That wind will start to shift back to the northeast again, but only 5 to 15 miles per hour. Could still see some more wildfire smoke on Thursday as well. By Friday, we'll have a high of 78, mostly sunny. That's after we fall to 48 on Thursday night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Current temperature at WSGW 65 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art this week, who's on a much-needed vacation. And here in the second hour, we are going to talk about an issue that is definitely top of mind for everyone here in the region, across the state and the country, and that is talent. And specifically today, we're going to chat quite a bit about the skilled trades. And I have with me today Justin Pomerville, who's the business manager and financial secretary with UA Local 85, Plumbers and Steam Fitters here in Saginaw. And he's also the president of the Tri-County Building Trades. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So to start, for those that are listening and may not know, what is UA Local 85 Plumbers and Steam Fitters Union? What exactly does that mean? I think people have a rough idea, but I think they sure would love the opportunity to hear the specifics.
Sure. And I appreciate that. The UA Local 85 is the United Association of Journeyman Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and HVACR Service Technicians. With that, that encompasses pretty much everything in the name and then some. Obviously, it's plumbing, which ranges from houses all the way to commercial, heavy industrial. The steam fitting portion is, mostly heavy industrial, the Dow Chemicals, Hemlock Semiconductors, Corteva's, DuPont's, Consumers Energy type facilities in our region, all of the welded pipe, process pipe, Michigan Sugars, just to name a few of the big ones. I'm sure I'm going to leave somebody out, so I'll catch some criticism on the way out of here about that. But everything pipe related, if it's round and something goes through it, it's a UA Local 85 person that puts it in. And then the third entity is the HVACR, which has really grown, obviously, is all of the heat exchangers, all of the rooftops on many of the businesses around. We keep it warm and we keep it cool, and hair's on fire when they call. So that's a hot business to be in.
Yeah, no one ever calls and says, "Hey, I need my air conditioning fixed," but it can wait a couple weeks, right? Jonathan, how do we feel about that this week? It's
right.
It's one of those items that when people lose their heat in the winter or their air conditioning in a hot day, they're looking for immediate service, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's high demand, highly skilled. The HVAC, our technician is probably the most technical of the three entities that I represent exclusively in Local 85. So continued education is big, and they're kind of on an island by themselves. So when they go out, they're not getting a ton of, hey, good job, thanks for being here. It's get my heat on or get my cooling on and as fast as you can. So
absolutely. So the question I have for you and really for the listeners so that they're aware, these folks don't work for you, though. They don't work for UA Local 85. Your members, who are they employed by, is an example?
Sure. So we're a exclusive hiring hall. So basically we broker the workforce, the manpower or she power, as we call it sometimes. So the men and women that come and do the work. So the big ones here in the region, my largest contractor is Johnny Green. They employ up to 250 people pretty much year round. They work, 30,000 man hours a month. And mostly in the industrial world, in the service world. But, the Reamer Plumbing and Heatings, Johnson and Wood doing Saginaw United School downtown, the new high rise, they employ plenty of plumbers. William E. Walters in the process sugar world is a big player. Matt Mechanical up in Sanford is fab shops. We send a lot of pipe around the world too. So they're, highly skilled here in the Great Lakes Bay region. I'm real fortunate to have come through the apprenticeship myself, and like the Dow Corning world has exposed us to a lot of exotic metals that you might not see anywhere else in the world, like some Inconel and Astaloy and titanium and chrome and nickel, stainless pipe. And so our welders are fit for anything thrown in front of them. So if it gets hot and it'll melt, we put it together. And it's really worked well. W Soul, I hate start to naming contractors too, because I'm going to get those contractors.
You better pull the full list out. No, this is helpful because I think people hear, oh, they work for the union. Well, what exactly does that mean? I think hearing that distinction that they work for individual companies and they're represented by you is a little bit different. And I will just say, I love hearing what you're talking about in terms of the complexity of the work. I've never heard the term exotic metals. The one thing that we always hear that separates our region, I think, from a lot of other places is that we have a highly productive and very well-trained workforce. Justin, you've been around this for a long time, and you cover a large portion of the state heading north. What makes our region so dynamic in terms of its workforce? Because it sure seems like for the size of region we are, and maybe a lot of folks here take this for granted, we have a phenomenal workforce here in our region.
We really do. And it comes down to, first and foremost, obviously values, how you're brought up and how you're raised, in the hardworking people of this region raise their kids to be hard workers. They raise their kids to want to succeed. And I think one of the other things that pushes us into, doing what we do and being successful at it is that sometimes we have to do more with little. When you're in the big city, you have a supply house right next door. My members that work in northern Michigan, because I represent the whole northern half of the Lower Peninsula, so 29 and a half counties, so north of the Mackinac Bridge from Traverse City to Alpena. When you're working clear up in Sutton's Bay, or you're in Alpena or Charlevoix or Sheboygan, you can't just run to the supply house. You gotta fix things. You become the ultimate MacGyver sometimes, and you're making things work to get it back on the road, and then maybe you're ordering the part and you're waiting on it to come in. But the ingenuity of it all, these apprenticeship grooms them for that. But it starts even earlier than that. It starts in the schools. It starts in the trade programs. It starts at home, working on getting your snowmobile running so you can ride on Friday night. And some of these, and I'm not going to call them kids because they progress into being apprentices and even journey people. But when you're brought up that way, you make do with what you have at hand, and that's a big part for our members. They can fix anything with almost nothing at all, and that's a trait that you don't see all over the country.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing, for our listeners, you're a union organization. So what does it mean for folks that just may not know, or just they hear these things and may not know the specifics? What does it mean to actually be part of the union?
Sure. It's a great question, because that's such a loaded question. It's a broad question, which is great. I love to have those conversations because times have changed. 1970s and 1980s unions were real strong. And I was just talking in the hallway with one of the people that work here, and there was some mistakes made. And as we progressed, it was, some of the unions were perceived as the country club. If you didn't know somebody, you couldn't get in. If you weren't related to somebody, you couldn't get in. And that dynamics changed. Now we're just looking for the capable, qualified people that want to do this, and it's not the same country club mentality that maybe it once was. So as a labor organization and a union, what it means to me is if you're union, you can work for anybody. Because we send people to work for, not necessarily even a signatory contractor, somebody that needs help, and they're giving us a try. And if you're non-union, you're working for a company, and you're bargaining your own deal, and you're doing the best you can with what you got. But at the end of the day, the non-union worker is doing the same work as the union worker. It's just nationally, it's a 40% difference in wages and benefits. And everybody says, well, the unions may be pricing themselves out of the market, which I've heard my entire life. And for the 14 years that I've been in office, I've heard that, well, you guys get paid too much, or you paid too much, you paid too much. Prevailing wage, right to work, which sounds great in theory. But if that indeed be the case, how does a union contractor ever beat a non-union contractor in bid? The difference is that they're mandated to pay a certain package with wages and benefits, and that comes out of the profit or the bottom line. So when it's a non-union and a union contractor bidding against each other, they're typically right close to each other, and anybody who ever puts stuff out to bid, sees those numbers. And when you bid a school work, it may be a $3 or $4 million mechanical job. Well, the non-union mechanical is right close to that. The difference is his members may be doing it for a little bit less or less benefits. And the labor organizations see it as, a benefit to, get a fair shake for the worker. And that's what the unions are about. United, you're strong. And in the union, we say divided, you beg.
So when we get back, we're going to talk about just size of the unions. Are they increasing, decreasing? What are you saying? And I really want to start talking about students and the culture around our K-12 students and their parents and kind of what careers they're going into. And we're going to cover that next here on the Art Lewis Show.
Hemlock Public School District is an innovative powerhouse, actively redefining K-12 education. From cradle to early middle college, our dynamic learning community offers diverse extracurriculars like sports, drama, fine arts, and robotics. Experience an exceptional education focused on success. Enroll at hemlockps.com or call 989-642-5282 for personalized attention and a commitment to your child's future.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened flat and turned mixed. The U.S. trade gap widened in April, though not as much as expected. Exports fell, and the U.S. was importing more cars, phones, and supplies from other countries. Warner Brothers Discovery shares opened higher after its CEO of CNN, Chris Licht, stepped down. Coinbase shares opened 3% higher. The SEC has accused crypto exchange Binance of security violations. Its CEO, Brian Armstrong, says Coinbase has a long history of being transparent with the SEC, and tech investor Cathie Wood's ARK Fund has been buying Coinbase shares. Campbell Soup earnings top predictions, though its forecast is more cautious than expected. Campbell Soup shares opened down 7%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Posola, invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. If given the choice between financial stress or peace of mind, I will always choose peace of mind. That is why I've secured gold and silver from the Oxford Gold Group. Having precious metals in your home safe or in your 401k or IRA should be considered your investment strategy. Simply put, it's a portfolio protection plan. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals just like I do. Call 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The resignation from adulthood. I have decided I would like to accept the responsibilities of an 8-year-old again. I want to go to McDonald's and think that it's a 4-star restaurant. I want to sail sticks across a fresh mud puddle. I want to think M&Ms are better than money because you can eat them. I want to return to a time when life was simple and all you knew were colors, nursery rhymes. That didn't bother you because you didn't know what you didn't know and you didn't care. I want to think the world is fair, that everyone is honest and good. I want to be oblivious to the complexities of life and be overly excited by the little things again. So, I am officially resigning from adulthood. And if you want to discuss this further, you'll have to catch me first because tag, you're it.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art this week. And here in the second hour, I'm with Justin Pomerville with UA Local 85. And we've been chatting about skilled trades and his shop with Local 85. And one of the perceptions I think that's been out there is that over the course of the last several decades, union membership has been declining. But it seems like maybe that's changed here in the last several years. What are you seeing? I would guess threefold. One, just in your own local. Two, with the construction trades here in the Tri-County area. And then three, just what are you seeing statewide and nationally?
So locally, we're increasing membership. So we've grown substantially. We have a lot of interest. We've done more in the promoting, more in the talking about what's out there and available for the trades, a lot more job fairs, a lot more things to get this on the forefront of an option. And I think that public perception's changed a little bit too. So there's a movement going on right now nationally. I mean, you see it and if you're not watching the news, you're not paying attention to it. But I mean, Starbucks workers, different places are seeing the value of union membership like we once had in this country, and I think we're heading back down that path. I don't know that for sure, but when people are doing better and they can physically see it, I think it's a pretty easy sell. I think people understand if they do better in one entity than another, why not be part of that entity? And locally, that's how it's been for us. We've always gotten quite a few applications, and we've always had a good selection process, but it's even increased now from where it was. The other trades in the region are all pretty much in the same boat. They're all working very hard at getting their message out there and educating people to what's available. That's kind of been the lost art, I guess, for the group for a long time is not telling our own story and our own message. And so I think a lot of the trades are heading down that path, and I think it's gaining interest. I think it's getting people more excited about trades. It's the other 4-year degree, right? I mean, it's not everybody's cut out for college. There's nothing wrong with college by any stretch. I have 2 children, one in college and one in the trade. So it's like one went one way and one went the other. We knew since kindergarten one was going to be in college, and we knew since kindergarten one of them did not like school. So it was a big part of it.
So you're making the transition perfect for me, because for our listeners, let's say parents, grandparents that are out there that have or high school age children, and I will at least say this because, we all wear different hats. As a parent and someone that sits on a local school board, I've definitely seen the perceptions change about the skilled trades in the last several years, where if I go into a classroom and ask kids what they're looking to do, I'm seeing more hands go up for skilled trades. I was ecstatic even last week. I had some issues with the heating and cooling side, and normally the tech worker that comes in kind of looks the same. It's a guy that's 40, 50 or older, just kind of always looked the same forever. It was a young girl in her mid-20s that came in. I'm like, well, you don't see that every day. So you can see something happening. So here's where I'm going with this. How does someone get in to a local 85 program or any other skilled trades program, period? How does that process work? How does a student that wants to do this, how do they apply? How do they engage? And then what does the process look like to get them through to become certified? And if you could also share just, okay, what kind of money are they making versus taking debt? Things like that. You know this world better than I do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question again. It is changing the dynamics of the old white male stigmatism of the old union guy, is changed. I mean, we've gotten a lot more diverse. I've gotten a lot more, minorities interested in the trades because we're reaching out in different places. It's not the same, your kid doesn't like school, send them to the trades. It's, it's a real viable option for the trades now for people to make money. And the wages and benefits are fantastic. I can only really speak to the wages and benefits of a union plumber, steam fitter, HVACR service technician, and I have no problem sharing it. It's pretty much public knowledge anywhere you want to go. So their total package is $65.58 an hour for a journey person. And out of that, about $20 of it is in benefits, the health and pension and the training. And it's our journey person right now is $43.50 an hour on the check, which that's what they make and bring home. That's their taxable wage. And so it's on a 2,000-hour year, that's $87,000 a year. And people say, well, without a college degree, that seems crazy to me. Well, these journey people do a 5-year apprenticeship program. So in that 5-year apprenticeship program, there's 8,900 work hours and 1,080 school hours, and it's governed and mandated by the Department of Labor. So I mean, they have a Department of Labor certificate that qualifies them to work on this stuff, because when unlike some jobs, when my people make mistakes, people die. I mean, that's the reality of it. Unfortunately, if something blows up or the pipes blow apart, or the biggest bomb in any house is your water heater. If the relief valve's plugged off, or somebody puts a plug in it because it's leaking, that creates pressure. And those are things that we teach in our apprenticeship. We spend a lot of our 1,080 hours of school work in our apprenticeship on safety. I'm proud of the fact that we're the oldest labor organization in the state of Michigan.
So, yeah, I saw 127 years,
132 years,
132. We may have some updating to do on a number that I saw somewhere. Yeah, 132 years now.
1892, we were chartered. So and in that time, probably an even better fact is that we don't have a job site fatality, and we work over 1 million man hours a year. And we don't have a job site fatality. So, I mean, put that in perspective of 132 years, basically. And the training is, you go home the same way you came in. Our number one focus, and I tell a lot of people, we started talking about how to get people interested in the moms and the dads and the grandparents that are out there. I always say, you give me the mom, I can get the kid, right? Because mama wants her baby to have health care. Mama wants her baby to have a pension. She wants them to have good benefits. But first and foremost, she wants them to be safe. She wants them to come home the same way she sent them in to work.
You said something that really caught my attention that I've been seeing before. And I think it's a stigma maybe associated with going into any skilled trades, is that, well, somehow if you're the smartest kid, you're of course going to go and be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. And if you struggle, those are the kids that go into the skilled trades. I'm seeing more kids graduating magna cum laude with a 3.9. And then they're going into the apprenticeship program. They're going into any kind of skilled trades. You're starting to see that stigma fall down, that this is for everybody. You could be the genius kid valedictorian, and they may want to go into the skilled trades, and it's a great career and a great answer, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I was never really cut out for and it sounds funny because now I'm in office, but I wasn't cut out for an office, and now I'm in the office of Local 85. But I wanted to be outside. I wanted to work with my hands. I wanted the scenery to change. I wanted to be able to provide for my family. I wanted to be able to retire someday. And I was fortunate enough to have the guidance that, people educated me to what it was about. But people who just don't necessarily want to explore that college education, and we're seeing more and more of it. You're absolutely correct. We're seeing more and more of it, of the students that are their top 5, top 10 of their school, and our trade has changed so much, like every craft or every job, really. I mean, with this new worldwide interweb thing's kind of taken off. And, people need to be a little bit computer savvy. It used to be, if you were a plumber, you just put the pipes together, you sweated copper together. And now there's a whole ordeal that goes with that, and there's a lot more to it. And they're setting jobs up on iPads, and they're out in the middle of a field, and they have GPS is showing them where the drains and where the pipes are going to go.
Well, we are going to take a quick break. Yep. We'll be back shortly with Justin Pomerville.
Kick off summer with this free community event. YMCA of Saginaw Concert for a Cause Festival. Thursday, June 15th and Friday, June 16th. Join musicians The Shakedown, Bob Seger Tribute Band, and Stone Street Revival. There will be bounce houses, STEM Zone, Food Truck Alley, cornhole tournaments, and more. Bring your lawn chair, dancing shoes, and don't forget your friends. Daily activities start at 4 p.m. with the concerts at 5:30, all in the Y Courtyard overlooking the Saginaw River. The YMCA of Saginaw, strengthening your community for 154 years.
Brew at the Zoo, the adult-only fundraiser at the Saginaw Children's Zoo, is back. Join us for an evening of live music, beer and wine, tasty treats, and delicious food. All this and more are included in the ticket price of $50. An event you won't want to miss, Thursday, June 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Visit SaginawZoo.com to order your tickets today.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you zoo?
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family. Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Torkelson, fly ball left field, way back in left, gone! Spencer Torkelson hits his 5th home run.
The Tigers play 5:40 this evening on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So it's Matt Felan filling in for Art Lewis today. I'm here with Justin Pomerville with Local 85, Plumbers and Steam Fitters. And you also have another hat, which is president of the Tri-County Building Trades. What is the Tri-County Building Trades, Justin?
So it's the Tri-County Building Trades is basically a union within the unions. That it's where all the crafts come together, and we meet every couple of weeks. It's the first and third Thursday, and it's all the construction trades come together and try and identify potential issues, the work that's coming, manpower needs and requests, and then like national maintenance agreements, do all their pre-jobs through it. So it's a way for all the trades to communicate where we don't have any issues out on the jobs or with any other crafts or any other problems. And the Tri-County Building Trades is made up, like I said, of the construction trades, which primarily consist of the electricians, operators, sheet metal, boilermakers, millwrights, laborers, insulators, painters, drywallers, cement masons. So basically, if you're going to build a building, anything that would come out of the ground to the end, starting with the operator showing up, moving dirt, to pouring footings and piers, to the iron workers setting iron, to plumbing and running power to your building, and then insulating.
So I'm so glad you brought this up because when we talk about your union, Local 85, that's definitely one craft and a different level of skill. But you're talking about a lot of different unions with a lot of different expertise. Can you talk a little bit about, so do they all have their apprenticeship programs? Do they all have a way that you can apply? Are there different unions that look at different skill sets? Why does, again, for the parents or grandparents listening, why does a student select one versus the other? Just what do you see when you look at it overall, if you can really kind of dive into that?
Sure. It comes down to a lot of interest from the person wanting to apply. Like what makes them tick? What do they like doing? Some of it's a lot more technical and precise. Millwrights get down to where they're within, 100,000ths of an inch on things, and the tolerances are very little, and they're more gauge oriented. And then there's trades like either the laborers and the operators who spend a lot of time out on the roads and pouring footings and working outside, consistently. So it comes down to what the interest of the specific person is. They all do have their own apprenticeships. One thing I'll add about their apprenticeships, all their apprenticeships are self-funded. They don't receive state and federal money. This isn't something we compete with the community colleges or compete with the schools for funding. It's not taxpayers' dollars. All of their training programs are put on by their working members, remitting money back into the training program. So it's all self-funded, and that also weighs in on why we have such a vested interest on success. We don't lose a ton of students, where a student might go to college and decide they don't like that and they drop out of college, because I think the first 2-year dropout rate of a 4-year university is a lot higher than what we lose. And so, we have a 97% completion rate in my local union, and everybody's trades are a little bit different, but they all have their own schools. They all have their own curriculums and setup, but all of them are Department of Labor certified. All of them are governed by the Department of Labor, which sets the standard. You need to have a Department of Labor certified apprenticeship program and the Department of Labor governs it. We both know Russ Davis real well, and he's the registered apprenticeship director for the state of Michigan, and he comes in and he reviews your standards every year. And if you're not adhering to those standards, he's gonna take your accreditation away. And so it's not, the fox watching the hen house either. It's you're gonna perform at a level, and you're gonna comply to these things. And all of the building trades apprenticeships, some of them are a 3-year program, some of them are a 4-year program, some of them are a 5-year program. And it just depends on what skill set you're looking for. It depends on how far you want to take it. It depends, to be honest with you, a 5-year apprenticeship program probably pays a little more money than the 3-year apprenticeship program. In that aspect, we are a lot like the universities and the colleges. If you have a master's degree, you should make more than a bachelor's degree. If you have a doctorate, you should make more than the master's. It's kind of the same basic principles and setup, but all of them are going to go to school and complete their apprenticeship to receive a journey person status.
So we're going to take another commercial break. I'll be back with Justin Pomerville after these messages.
In his last will and testament, Robert has bequeathed to his only heir and devoted caretaker 1/3 of his house, 1/3 of his truck, and 1/3 of his beloved dog, Mr. Bo here.
Excuse me, I'm a little confused.
Don't settle for a fraction of what you deserve, especially at harvest. Yield your best with Veltima fungicide's proven plant health benefits and revolutionary application flexibility.
1/3 of a dog. Right.
Get everything you deserve with Veltima fungicide. From BASF, always read and follow label directions.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Save time and fuel by taking Liberty to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge, brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. Tolling begins soon. For your passport to the lowest rates, create your account online today at BayCityBridgePartners.com or visit the Bay City Bridge Partners Customer Service Center at 300 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City.
Catch the wave to win far-out prizes. Surf in to Saginaw Eagles Landing to win up to $200 premium play, a cool kayak, a sweet paddleboard, or a $25,000 voucher at Tawa Bay Marine and Cycle. Hourly drawings 5 to 10 p.m. every Saturday in June. It's Catch the Wave, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
News coverage.
The Senate has passed the bill to raise the debt ceiling.
Because we persisted, we will not be defaulted.
Fighter jets scrambled to intercept a small plane that entered restricted airspace in Washington, D.C.
News.
A 10-year-old boy was taken into custody after he stole a vehicle from Buena Vista Township.
A wildfire has been burning in northern Michigan.
We used the state police helicopter.
A Saginaw teen was hospitalized after a shooting Sunday afternoon.
News coverage on WSGW.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art this week. And I'm with Justin Pomerville with UA Local 85 here in Saginaw. So Justin, clearly in order for you to have strong membership, we have to have a strong economy. We have to have jobs and we have to have people. We need population. How do you guys get engaged from your perspective, whether it's the local, the unions as a whole, statewide? But I think really for you, to be fair, how do you get involved here in our community working on those issues?
So probably our biggest involvement is with the Bay Area Ag Skills Center, and then the Saginaw ISD, and then the Saginaw Career Complex. We teach the welding programs over there, so we committed to having a couple of our members and teach the welding program and the HVAC program, and it's to put people in the pipeline. It's to continue to get people interested and come in our direction and towards the trades as a whole. And it's a big commitment. It's they become teachers, and these are not your normal teacher types, but it's and then secondly, it's probably just our involvement in the communities. We have a lot of horsepower as far as help, and my local union has nearly 1,300 members, and the vast majority of living in the Great Lakes Bay region, because that's where the industry's at, Midland, Saginaw Bay counties. And so they're made up of a lot of moms and dads. Our average age membership's 39 and a half. So we have a fairly young membership. And when you call on them, it's their community. So like, United Way Bay County's Day of Caring, we send a ton of people over there because it's their first. It's the right thing to do.
Right.
Second of all, they feel good at the end of the day for helping, and we're capable. And the SAG, we're heavily involved with the Saginaw County United Way. The mayor's team up to clean up here in Saginaw County. The apprentices from Local 85 put up and took down all the banners for the graduating classes of Arthur Hill and Saginaw High downtown. We work with Pride Downtown Development here in Saginaw pretty exclusively, hand in hand. A couple of years ago, we received a national congressional recognition for over 250,000 man hours, 250,000 man hours donated to our community. And so whenever there's something that they need done and they need workers, we run, and we run in there and we do it. And it's like I said, it's multifaceted because it's first the right thing to do. Second of all, it's a warm and fuzzy feel good moment to be able to help do something that they might not got done otherwise. And third of all, it's our communities that we live in, and we want to be a part of them, and we like to make our money here, and we're paid a fair wage. We know that we're compensated, handsomely for the work we perform, but we spend it here, and we commit it back into our communities. We sit on all these boards, the Foster Network Resource Center, the NRC there in Bay County. What a fantastic organization. We helped, with their building from its beginning till its end. And that was all no cost man hours that apprentices ran over there and donated and did.
Yeah. And I've seen Local 85 has a pretty significant presence at my Career Quest and the event at SVSU every year. How did your engagement in that event begin, and what are you looking to accomplish from your engagement there?
Sure. So we've been the event sponsor the last couple years that they've had it. Anyways, it got canceled through the COVID years, but both years that they've done it. And when they came to Local 85 and said that they were going to pump 10,000 kids through this program, and Michigan Works is another great organization I might have overlooked with Kristen Wenzel there, and she got us involved, got a hold of us and talked to us and said, we're going to pump 10,000 kids through this and at least educate them to what's out there. I have a strong commitment to wanting everybody to at least know what's available in our region. I'm a Saginaw kid. I was born here right in town in Saginaw, right off of Court Street. And I felt like it was missed for a long time. And with my Career Quest, it's like, now we're going to sell everything, all entities, all all available jobs and what you could want to be in. And I didn't feel like I got that when I was in school. And now that they're doing it, I'd kind of be a hypocrite or foolish not to want to be involved with it. And when we do get involved and sponsor that stuff, it's taken to our membership meeting and it's on the floor and we bring it up and we give them a price of what it's going to cost to do this. And the membership votes on it. Yes, do it. Because they kind of feel the same way, and it's our communities we live in again, and it's our kids, our schools, our teachers, and it's when you live, work, and play here, you kind of need to be involved. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And the My Career Quest has just been an amazing event the last several years that they've had it, and to put it in the Writer Center and everybody come together like that. And it's not just for the skilled trades. That's one section of the four. There's advanced manufacturing, there's the medical fields and the public sector workers of firefighters, police, all the
Michigan
hospitals,
sugar, agriculture. Yeah, you see everything
there.
So let me ask you this question, because Art Lewis asks me this question all the time, and we are on the Art Lewis show. I try to be a good steward of the show for Art, and he asks this question all the time, that when we looked at education through the years, it felt like a windshield wiper. You had leaders saying, get a 4-year degree, and then everyone would pivot and go, no, go into the skilled trades. And then the windshield wiper go back and it would be, go get a 4-year degree. And then we go into the skilled trades. He's always asked me about it. And I would say, Art, we have to do everything. We need kids to go get 4-year degrees and become engineers and chemists and PhD level folks. But at the same time, we need folks to go and become involved in the skilled trades. The question I have for you, and I'm asking it via Art, have we found the right balance yet, do you think, between needing to offer every opportunity to our students?
I think we're getting a lot closer. I think we're probably as close as we've been to finding a balance in that in my career, because it should just be all information presented and then figure out what best suits the student. It shouldn't be after you went and failed at college, did you come and see the skilled trades? It shouldn't be. And we've had a great partnership with, and I know he's just retired last week, Harvey Schneider over at Delta College. So it's nice to throw him a plug on happy retirement, Harvey, if you're listening. But Delta College is a hidden gem here in our region for the trades especially, but for everything, because it's a feeling out process and to figure out what you want to do and where you want to be, and Saginaw Valley as well. With they've been a great partner of ours at everything we do, and I was just with Saginaw Valley last week in talking about where we had, and I think once the leaders of both sides, when I say leaders, I mean like the presidents of the 4-year universities and maybe the president of the building trades statewide, Steve Claywell, or building trades reps or the business managers start talking and having very real conversations, because the colleges definitely know not everybody's, meant for that. The trades definitely know not everybody's meant for the trades. So you're not competing with each other. And I think our region probably came along faster than most regions at identifying that. It's been several years now that we've had the very real conversations of, these students might be great cutout for the college level. And some of them might be great cutout for the trades. And I've had members referred to me from Saginaw Valley and Delta College and Mid-Michigan College and Ferris State Universities, and they've called and said, hey, we got one for you, and it'll be a great one, and that holds water, and vice versa. If we have some that might not be the technical, mechanical, hands-on type, and we can help them get into a field that benefits them more, we all win when the students succeed, right? I mean, that should be the end common goal for your whole community. When the student does good, you do good.
Well, Justin, this has been a great conversation today. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be back after these messages.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are so excited to welcome back our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market. Support our farmers and our small businesses like the Little Yarn Shop, Valerie B's Cupcakes, the ever-popular Top King, and the creative Thrive Creative Innovations. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming events. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we'll see you at the market. This is Rachel from the Boardroom, located inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., offering everyday lunch specials and a full bar with over 20 Michigan brews on tap. Come enjoy one of the only outdoor patios right on Riverfront Saginaw. Follow us on Facebook for our live entertainment schedule as we welcome local talent Thursday through Friday. Did you know we offer food and alcohol catering for indoor and off-site events? Contact us at 989-770-0233 for more information. Get on board and support small.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, I'm Matt Felan filling in for Art. I want to thank Joe Stricker, Maria Otto, Terry McNeese, and Justin Pomerville for joining me this morning. Up next is the Focus program in Eastside Soup Kitchen. But first, the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSG